right, good afternoon and welcome to our World Cup previews for Group G, Group H, and Group I. Previously, I had done the last 6 groups over the last 2 days, so 3 groups a day. And after today, we have 3 groups left. The World Cup starts on Thursday, so we will be right on time regarding the first game of the World Cup and getting up to speed with what we think will be the results expected. So results over the course of the next month when it comes to the group stages. Remember, a lot has to do with the third place team as well. 8 third place teams are going through. We also have to determine who we think are going to be the third place teams. This will allow us to make good decisions when we want to put money on the game. If you want to put money on the game, it's not even about the money, it's just about the love of the game, to be honest. So we love this game, man. We love the game of football, man. Let me lower this and set this up like that. Let's go. Okay, so we're gonna start with Group G. Okay, we're gonna look at each group consecutively, but each match consecutively. Going to look at the first game is Belgium and Egypt. Now, if you guys recognize trends, man, you'll notice some things. I'll show you, but I want you to see if you see any trends here, okay? It's going to be pretty simple to see. So Egypt scored 14 goals in the last 10 games. Just yesterday, they scored 1 against Brazil. They scored 1 against Russia to win, 1-0. 4 against Saudi Arabia. Remember that? Saudi Arabia got whipped 4-0. Then they scored 3 against Ivory Coast in their 3-2 win in the African Cup of Nations. 3-1 against Benin. Benin managed to score, and then 1-0 against South Africa. Alright, so that's the last 6 games, alright? I'm talking about where the goals came from. Think about it. Just think about it, okay? Here we're gonna look again against just so you get an idea. Angola, they 0-0. Egypt 3-1. Senegal, they lost 1-0 in the semi-finals. To me, Egypt is not a top 2 African team. Not anymore. I think Morocco and Senegal are your top 2 African teams. And then you've got Egypt and Ivory Coast, who are second in command. So if you're going to look at a group like Belgium's, if it was Morocco here, Belgium would have to watch out. If it was Senegal here, Belgium would have to watch out. I don't think Belgium have to watch out against Egypt. Having said that, when Egypt do face a top opposition, they do get a goal. It wasn't just here, but against Spain, they managed to draw. Against Egypt, they managed to draw. Here, they lost 1-0, so it's tight. Ivory Coast, they lost 3-2. If they're losing, it's going to be a tight one. What about Belgium? Belgium concede goals. I want you to remember that. Belgium concede a lot of goals, man. Yeah, they took care of Tunisia here. They took care of Croatia. They conceded against Mexico. They conceded 2 against USA. Yeah, they scored 5. But think about it, they conceded 2 against USA. They conceded 2 against Wales in a World Cup qualifier. This was the end of last year. I don't like to go too far back, but at least to the end of last year, it will give you a good indication. Yeah, they score goals, but there's periods where they lack. North Macedonia against Mexico. And more recently, in this game against Mexico, I'm going to show you. It could have gone either way. Like, Mexico had chances. It's not opening, but let me see that. It won't open because I'm live streaming. Alright, so I say that to say Egypt have a chance of scoring for sure. But this game will have goals from either side. Two goals minimum, maybe 1-1. But I definitely see Egypt needing to struggle to keep up. Like I said, if it was Senegal, if it was Morocco, those are the two best African teams. If it was Ghana, Ivory Coast, or Egypt coming second, sure, because Iran and New Zealand aren't anything to talk about. If you want to see, this is Iraq. Hold on, I got Iran quickly. Let me show you Iran's last 10. Iran is the only team that has a chance here because New Zealand, New Zealand can get a goal, but they're not gonna get third place. Iran beat Mali 2-0. They beat Gambia 3-1. They lost to Nigeria 2-1. And I think this is gonna be the result against Egypt. It's gonna be similar to this one, yeah. 2-1, 2-1, 2-1, 2-0. What Russia did to them as well. Iran are definitely like Cape Verde. Qatar beat Iran in the World Cup qualifier. So in my opinion, Iran aren't getting any points here. Yeah, they can beat Mali, and yeah, they can probably get a draw or beat New Zealand. We need to see New Zealand now, because now we're judging Iran, but we're not judging New Zealand. I'll show you something. Here we go. So they just lost 1-0 to England the other day. Then they got beaten 4-0 by Haiti. That is so contrasting, you know. You would think they were in the game here. I mean, they got one shot and one shot off target, okay? But they just lost 1-0. That just speaks a lot about England. But against Haiti showed them. Haiti showed exactly who New Zealand are. New Zealand now beat Chile are in disarray. But they lost to Finland. So they pick up a result and then they lose. They pick up a result and then they lose. I think they could get a result against Iran. I just don't think it's going to be enough to get anywhere. I don't think it's going to be enough to get anywhere. I think Iran do get the third place. The lucky loser. It's going to be more like this, right? I'll give Egypt benefit of the doubt in the first game. But then Iran as well, 1-0. I'll give New Zealand one benefit. First games meaning Egypt are going to be raring to go. Mo Salah, blah, blah. But Belgium don't get the break they need. They probably start the game well and then they concede and they don't get a break. However, against Iran, they take care of business. Take care of business against Iran. And Egypt take care of business against New Zealand.
With premium, you get to focus
Belgium take care of business against New Zealand.
Catalog of millions of songs
Egypt
without hearing ads.
scrape past
Or
Iran.
download your playlist to listen
2-1,
to
right?
it anywhere.
It was
You
like
can
what we
also
say
play your
against
favorite
Nigeria.
songs in any
Similar.
order, with the freedom to skip forward
What does that leave
or
us?
backward as
Belgium
long
in
as you like.
first, Egypt
Your
second
audio, your
on goal
control.
difference.
Tap the banner to
Then
learn more.
Iran third, New Zealand fourth on goal difference. So yeah, I do think Iran will get third place on goal difference. However, with the amount of goals conceded,
Whether
I don't know
you're
if they'll get
relaxing
the
at
8
home
places, man.
or
The
out
third
and
lucky
about,
place
make your music move
is
with
only
you.
consigned
With
to
premium,
8
you can download your
teams.
music at higher quality.
So there will be
Listen to
4
songs
teams that finish
ad-free
third that will not
and
be going
play them
through.
in
I think
any
Iran
order.
will be
Tap the banner
unlucky.
to learn more.
Hey, it could be New Zealand. Could be New Zealand that steals that third place. I still think they'll be unlucky due to the amount of goals shipped by Egypt and Belgium. I might be wrong. There might be other teams that get worse results over the course of the 3 games. So that was a pretty quick analysis. I think out of all the groups I've gone through, this one seems the most straightforward to predict. It will be a tussle for first place between Belgium and Egypt. It'll be a tussle for third place between Iran and New Zealand. Not much else to say about that. I will move on. We're gonna make this a 30-minute video this time, so we don't have to waste time. Okay, so Group H, guys. Group H. What's wrong with this one? That's fine. Group H again, in my opinion, easy to predict. It goes exactly how you see it here. Spain in first, Uruguay second, Saudi third, Cape Verde, Cape Verde last. So we look at Cape Verde. Cape Verde had some good results. They drew with Egypt. They beat Serbia pretty convincingly, and then they beat Bermuda convincingly. Earlier on this year, uh, they also. Oh, this was last year, but yeah, late last year they also drew with Iran and beat Swatini, and then drew with Libya. So they can score, and they can hold. They held against Cameroon here. Not sure what Cameroon was doing there. I think it was over for Cameroon at this point. Because what? Yeah, I think it was over for them. And then Mauritius, Georgia, those are results you'd expect. Now look at their opposition, right? You got Spain, who are just gonna handle them. And then they've got Uruguay, who drew with England, drew with Algeria, got whambered by USA. They got a red card there, but drew with Mexico. Uruguay hold their own, is what I'm saying here. Beat Uzbekistan. If you saw yesterday, Uzbekistan played Netherlands and they were quite the outfit. I mean, they didn't embarrass themselves, is what I would say. So Uruguay beats them there. Uruguay haven't lost in quite a bit, except for this USA loss. They've gotten good results. Paraguay, they lost there as well. But over the last year, because we're looking at the 6th of June 25 there, that's a year's work of Uruguay results. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So 10 games, they've lost 2. And the games they lost, I mean, Paraguay have been doing quite well. And USA was a friendly that I can't explain. Can't really explain how they lost 5-1 there. What that does tell you is USA are really score goals. I saw them in the friendlies as well. They score a lot of goals, man. So it's not a thing about, hey, who's going to score first or what. Nah, they're both going to score. I'm talking about Morocco. I'm talking about, not Morocco. I'm talking about USA. But in that group, it's going to be goals. So I'm going to say it's going to be a draw here. They beat Cabo. They beat Spain. They draw with Spain. And then they get over the line against Uruguay 1-0. It's going to be tight, man. It's going to be tight. 3-0, 3-1 here. 1-0. 1-0 Uruguay. Another 3-0 victory here. I don't know, you could put the 1 here and you could put the 0 here. It really doesn't matter. The result will be the same. It's going to be 2-0 here. I said 1-0, did I? Yeah, because what Uruguay do, look, Uruguay close it, man. Cape Verde have shown that they can score. Look, they drew with Egypt here. It was a friendly year. But against Iran, they got shut out. And then I'm going to look at Uruguay for you here. Uruguay shut out Algeria. They shut out, well, they drew with England. Shut out Mexico. And then they can shut out other teams as well. Like, it's not hard for Uruguay to hold Saudi Arabia down. If I want to show you Saudi's team, let me show you. I'll show you Saudi's team. Beat Puerto Rico. Alright, they beat Puerto Rico 3-0. And then they lost to Ecuador 2-1. And then they lost to Serbia. This is the same Serbia that Cape Verde beat 3-0. To Saudi Arabia, they lost. To Egypt, they lost 4-0. And then that's the year's for results for them, man. 4 games this year, ne? Before that, they lost to Jordan, which is worrying. They couldn't beat the UAE either. So for me, Saudi Arabia are not a team that any team should worry about right now. If you are Cape Verde, actually, you might get a point off them. Because Serbia beat Saudi Arabia. Cape Verde beat Serbia 3-0. So that is enough to say Cape Verde could get a result against Saudi, for sure. 1-1, 1-0, sure. But the rest becomes pretty simple to manage. I think that's what we're looking at. I think Cape Verde get that spot. They're just in a better position. They've surprised with their results lately, whereas Saudi Arabia have just been exactly what we are expecting. So I think that's the 8 positions. You see on the right there, we've got those third place positions and how many points they've amassed. Like I said about Iran in the previous group, I don't think 1 point is going to be enough, and I think that's all they're getting max. I think 1 point is all they're going to get. Saudi Arabia is same. I think 1 point is all they're going to get max. That puts Cape Verde ahead of Saudi Arabia in my opinion with Group H. But let's find out about Group I. Let me lock this in. Hold on. I'll do this again. There we go. Group I, guys. Okay. I'm so happy this is easier to predict. I think these 3 groups are GHI are definitely more easier to predict than ABC. ABC is a headache. A D, E, F, just as much a headache. But yeah, we're finding some normalcy now. I think this goes this way. I don't think Norway. Thank you for the follow. Who that? Thank you for the follow, bro. Scos. BK. Thanks, man. I don't think, in my opinion, right? I don't think Norway are better than Senegal. The ranking will tell you no. Like, Senegal are ranked 14th. Norway are ranked 31st. Senegal's last 10 results are better if you guys want to see this quickly. Besides the drama against Morocco, and besides this loss here, hey man, this is the women. What am I saying, bro? Come on, man. Lost to USA. In a friendly, right, in May. They've been pretty solid, man. 2-0 against Peru. They lost, like I said, that is... I'm still not going to take that. Gambia, 3-1. Against Egypt, take care of business, 1-0. In my opinion, Senegal are the strongest African team. Closely behind is Morocco. Closely behind Morocco is Ivory Coast. Those are the top 3 African teams, man. If you talk about Ghana and Tunisia, you're falling a bit off now in terms of quality. Ghana, Tunisia, especially Tunisia, have been very poor. I don't expect anything from Tunisia. Ghana have a tough group, so who knows, but I expect Senegal to do better than Norway. I expect Senegal to do better than Norway because they know how to grind out results. These results might not seem like they have it under control, but when it comes to getting a 1-0 lead, they can definitely get another goal, or they can shut out Norway. It doesn't matter. Yeah, Norway have Haaland, guys. Yes. Norway has Haaland. They have Odegaard. But Norway played... I watched this game. Norway played Morocco, who I also think is a top African team. I think Senegal and Morocco are right up to each other, but Senegal first. When they played Morocco, they were not convincing. Morocco were in charge of this game for most of the game, in my opinion. They were lucky to draw. They had to do something in the second half. But against Sweden, they conceded 1. They couldn't beat Switzerland. They lost to Netherlands, who are not that good in outfit right now. Qualifiers, they did what they had to do. But here's a friendly late last year against New Zealand. They drew with New Zealand. That's terrible, man. That's terrible. The fact that they conceded in every single game up until October last year is an indicator. We're not going to look at Switzerland here because this game was weird as well. I'm gonna show you about the Switzerland game. I think I can open it up. No, I don't think I'm allowed to open it on YouTube right now. But there were some guys missing in that game. But yeah, they have Soloth, they have Haaland, they have Odegaard. They will get a goal. Are they beating Senegal? I don't know. I don't think so. I say that to say, for me, France is in first. France have enough quality on the bench to get a goal in the second half if they need to get a goal in the second half. You know? If France somehow go down, or if somehow are tied after 60 minutes, they can bring on so many good players to change that game. That's the difference between Norway, Senegal, and France, and this is why I think France come up first. Even if Senegal manage to draw against France, they're still going to take advantage in the second round. In terms of goal scored, I think that's what's going to be the best, and I think they edge Norway in the last game. But I don't know if they want to finish first or second. They might do this thing where they want to finish second for a reason. But let's put all those connotations out the way. We just want to focus on the results expected, right? We'll talk about the results expected. Then this is what we have to look at. We have to look at how Norway do against Senegal. For me, it's 1-1. For me, Senegal could even take this 2-1. But I'll give them the benefit of the doubt. And I will say
tap the banner to learn more.
Senegal take care of business against Iraq. Because they know they will need to. And then France first game.
Can't get enough of your song of
You want to say that they win it, but I'm not convinced, man. I saw them against Ivory Coast, and they were not the same outfit. Mbappe wasn't playing. Mbappe played yesterday. I watched Mbappe play yesterday, so yeah, Mbappe played yesterday, but against Ivory Coast, the friendly before, Mbappe wasn't playing, Saliba wasn't playing. Here they got 45 minutes. Mbappe got the whole game. Mbappe played the whole game. Saliba got 45 minutes. They rotated the midfield, so it was Rabiot and Tchouameni yesterday. Rabiot and Tchouameni versus in the previous game against Ivory Coast, they played Kante and I think it was Zaire Emery and some other guys. Also up front, it was Olise, guys. Yesterday Olise was a little bit better than Doué, was better than Mbappe, was better than Dembele. Dembele was okay on the right. I think it would be better if Dembele played more centrally. Maybe they move Mbappe and Dembele into a forward two, and then they have Olise behind them, or Doué on the left, Doué on the right. Doué is good on the wings. I can see why they did that, but the Dembele one, I think he would be more effective in the middle with Mbappe. Mbappe kind of seemed alien. He seemed isolated at points where he had to come deep to get the pause. He had to come a bit deeper to get the ball, link up play with the rest of the team. It's not the same structure that they were playing the game before, but it was better when they had Doué, Dembele, Mbappe, and Olise on the field. They looked much better. I think that's how they're going to start up the game, and I think if they get an early goal, they could win this one. But I honestly think this is a draw. I think it's a draw. I think Senegal's defense is resolute. Senegal's defense is not easy to go over, bro. And France have been conceding goals. France have been conceding goals themselves. They concede to anybody. They conceded to Northern Ireland. They conceded 2 against Ivory Coast. They conceded 1 against Colombia. They conceded against against Brazil. Yeah, they won that game, but they conceded against Brazil. They conceded against Azerbaijan. And now they have a tired Saliba. They have Konate, who's just moved teams. I don't think he's impressive. I don't think he's starting. Upamecano was more impressive with Saliba at the back. So I think Saliba and Upamecano start. That would give them a bit more solidity, especially at the back, because all these games, see, end of last year, they played good game. They were good, except for this Iceland game. But this year, if you look at this year's results, conceding, I'm talking about how many goals they've conceded. Look at the goals they've conceded. We know they're a good team, and we know they're qualifying in first. But when you're going to play Norway, are you going to concede? Yeah. You will concede against Haaland, for sure. When you're playing against Senegal's front attack, yeah, I'll show you Senegal's attack, man. Is it history? There's something here. Oh, man. It was here yesterday. Hold on. Here it is, preview, my bad. Squads, Senegal. Sadio Mane, Nicolas Jackson, DIA. This is the Everton guy, man. Oh no, this is the Everton guy. Ismaili Sarr, Mbaye. That's an attack that will score goals, bro. That is an attack that will score you goals. The midfield is alright. The midfield is alright, but the defense is solid. Koulibaly, Diatta, Mandi, Sar. And they've got a good keeper at the back too. Solid keeper in Mandi. So, is it easy? Is it easy for any of these teams? I don't think so. I don't think it's gonna be Norway. I think Norway is gonna be the one suffering. Senegal versus Norway. They have Norway as 45% favorites. I think it's the other way around. If I look at where they're ranked, Senegal's ranked 14th, Norway's ranked 31st. If I look in Europe, I would say Norway is possibly 10th, maybe top 15 team in Europe. How many teams are better than Norway in Europe? France, England, Spain, Portugal, Germany, Italy, no. Um, I would put maybe six, seven, eight teams in front of them. It's France, England, Portugal, Spain, Germany. Who have I not counted here? Europeans. There's Germany, Netherlands. I'd say Netherlands are like Norway. I'd say Netherlands are just like Norway, guys. It's a team that you expect to do better than they're doing, and then they disappoint by conceding at weird times. So yeah, France concede, Norway concede, Senegal not as much. I think Senegal get that second place. I think they take care of Norway as a draw, and then they take care of France. Maybe a draw as well. Maybe a win. But they're going to get points of one of the two. If they're not getting points of France, they're getting points of Norway. I'm just going to be political. I'll give it to France. I'll give it to France because it's the opening game. I'll give the edge to France. Actually, let me be honest with myself. I think it's going to end up 1-1. I think it's going to end up 1-1. I think next game they're going to smack Iraq. Yeah. But the first game they're going to end up 1-1. And I think Norway are going to get enough to go past Iraq. And then Senegal take care of Iraq, and then France take care of Norway because they have to. I think here they have to. I think this game will be closer than we think, because the group's gonna be close by this stage. This is the last group, sir. These are the last groups. So that's what it looks like. Norway are the lucky losers, and yeah, they definitely go in as lucky losers. Uh, this image says third because of the 4 points that gives them third place with a +1 goal difference. And I think, yeah, I think they'll be top three in terms of lucky losers. If not Norway, Senegal will be top three in terms of lucky losers. One of the two. Either way, they're both going through. I don't think it's going to be a problem. And yeah, that hits 30 minutes. Perfect timing, man. We hit 10 minutes a group. I think it was easier to talk about because these groups, G, H, and I, are more easier to predict. They're just easier to predict, man. The last two teams are pretty obvious in all the groups, except for this one. But even here, I think I'll be right in saying Senegal make it through. They might not want to make it through in second place because Group I is one of the groups that have to play another runner up. They have to play another runner up in one of these groups, not L, not C, and not H. Not H, I, C. Yeah, C, H, I. Yeah, C, H, and I. They don't have to play a runner up here, but they will be playing a runner up from any other group. It's a weird structure, but it makes sense when you read about it. How they have to like separate certain favorites from others in the bracket, so they can all merge together later on in the tournament again. Then good thing about this is if they do play a runner up in the round of 32, they don't have to play a winner, a group winner, in the round of 16. I mean, unless they have to. A group winner in the round of 16. Correct, correct, correct. Because they've already had the challenge of playing someone in the top two already. So Senegal do have a little bit of an advantage there as the tournament progresses, and if they manage to get past the next round. So yeah, tomorrow we'll be doing J, K, and L. These are the groups for J, K, and L. I also see these as easier to predict if I'm comparing them to A, B, C, guys. This looks much easier to predict. This looks much easier to predict. This looks much easier to predict than this. This is a nightmare, bro. You don't know. Look at their rankings. Everyone's really, really, really close together. Um, Although I have South Africa getting deleted, I honestly think that it could be Czechia that gets deleted here. And then although Qatar is yeah, here I'm pretty sure that Bosnia and Qatar are gonna get deleted. Whether it's from the lack of goals, because look at here. These are my top eight so far of the third place teams: Ecuador, Paraguay, Norway, Sweden, Canada, South Africa, and Scotland. Because Bosnia and Qatar just don't get enough points for me. So I don't know. Bosnia might miss out in that third place. Scotland, I think, also might miss out. But if they score a lot of goals against Haiti, it'll be interesting. I think Scotland and Haiti are gonna have a great game, man. That's gonna be a great game. It's gonna be at least 3 goals in that game. Scotland know they need the points. Haiti know they need the points. They know they're not getting points against Morocco and Brazil. They gotta fight. It's gonna be an absolutely great game, man. I'm gonna just repeat Group B again because of how crazy it looks. I'm gonna say not Group B, it's Group C. I'm gonna say here Scotland and Haiti. I'm gonna
With
say
Premium, you get to focus on the music. Explore a vast
three
catalog
three.
of millions of
It's
songs
gonna be that
without
type of
hearing
game.
ads.
2-2, three
Or
three.
download your playlist to listen
And
to
then
them
yeah, of
anywhere.
course, Brazil and
You can
Morocco
also
is gonna
play
be
your favorite
close.
songs in any order.
But then
Free
everything
to
else from
skip
there is
forward
pretty
and
much
backwards as
standard.
much as you'd
So
like.
yeah,
Your audio,
this doesn't change who
your
goes through.
control.
I
Tap
still
the
think
banner to
Scotland
learn
will go
more.
through as a lucky loser. They just won't. It won't be easy. Like you see them eighth here. It's because they have a goal difference of -3. That's gonna be tough to get over, nah?
Lean into the sounds you
It's
love.
gonna be tough to get
Take
over.
your playlists anywhere with offline
So yeah,
downloads.
anyways,
Or
getting
play
back
your song
to
of the moment again and
tomorrow's
again with
predictions, we've got the
unlimited
last three
repeats.
groups, G,
Get
H,
all the
and
music
I.
without hearing audio ads on
Once those
Spotify
are
Premium.
done, we will
Tap
be
the banner
ready,
to learn
ready
more.
for the World Cup. I hope you guys will be following. I'm gonna be doing previews during the World Cup as well, and I'm gonna be using the previews to make money. That's for you guys to consider. But I think more importantly, it'll be interesting to actually see things unfold in real time. So yeah, the apps I'm using, guys, wcpredictor.app. You can choose the groups and the way the table will go, and then it's sim2026.com for the simulators. You can simulate a lot of things, but I'm doing a World Cup simulator, obviously. Those are the two websites I'm using for the previews. Anyways, guys, thank you for joining. Mr. Man who liked and followed, thank you. Appreciate the follow, my guy. Scots BK, appreciate that. Guys, if you guys are into sports or if you're into video games, do follow me. But I also do variety streams. I talk about general news. I talk about updates of things, like life updates. So there's a bunch of stuff I stream on. I've been streaming on Twitch. I'm streaming on TikTok now. So you catch me on TikTok. Follow me on TikTok. That would help. That would help a lot with the growth of the channel, man. And I'll see you guys tomorrow around 4 o'clock. I'll be doing the last three groups, J, K, and L. Okay. Thank you all. Appreciate it. I'll see you guys later for some video games, man.